Charlize Theron. There's something going on there. She's adopted 2 children. I believe they're 2 children of color. Are they 2 black kids? And they're American. And one of them, she says, is trans. It's a boy who she claims is a girl.
We're moving backwards fast. Immigration policy is destroying the lives of families, not criminals. Women's rights are becoming less and less every day. And trans lives are increasingly being erased. And gender-based violence is on the rise.
Podcaster who interviewed Kamala Harris all about how much they love abortions. And this is Charlize Theron trying to sound like super cool girl. And I'm going to let you decide for yourself whether that's what she accomplished in SOT 26.
Do you have any?
Yes, I have said this over and over on this channel. These Hollywood people are insane. This lady said something that triggered a lot of people on the internet. Hollywood actress Charlize Theron, 49, brags about having a one-night stand with a 26-year-old. I watched that video. I was like, Megyn Kelly sat down with this guy. They talked about this. It is important. I react to this video. Extremely concerning. If you're not subscribed to this channel, please endeavor to do that. It will do you no harm if you share this video. Sometimes it is important we bring this video so you can see exactly what is actually happening. It really gets on my nerves every single day when I see people putting out clips like this. I don't know if she actually just want to go viral on social media or what exactly.
Me? Tip for the girls.
I am the last person to ask. I'm like sounding very cocky here, but I think it's because I have found this freedom in my 40s where I'm like, oh my God. So I just want to say this in perspective. I've probably had 3 one-night stands in my entire life.
Okay.
But I did just recently a 26-year-old and it was really amazing.
Yes.
And I've never done that. And I was like, oh, this is great. Should be the
my
ones that are
God.
like, phew, like I'm going to have an orgasm. And yet my whole life was so concerned about
Same.
the same.
Same.
Okay.
Oh my God.
So my advice would be this. Don't do that. For 2 reasons. You're going to have better orgasms. And guess what? Your man's going to like that.
Okay, I think I just found my next parody. She played me in a movie and I can play her in one too. What's going on there? I got to tell you, Stu Burgier, I have to tell you something. I kind of call bullshit because I believe that Charlize Theron probably prefers women. That's my belief, okay? I'm entitled to my opinion, and there's no reason to get into the details as to why I believe it, but I believe it. And I don't think that she's telling the truth about the 26-year-old. I think this is the way, in the same way I told the audience this story about how Doug and I have a friend, a lot of our friends thought that this friend, but this guy who was the suspect man would constantly make inappropriate, like weird comments about, my girlfriend looks amazing, Nick. And Doug would always be like, straight men don't talk about their girlfriends like that. That's like man's idea of how a straight man would talk about his girlfriend. And I feel like this is an overcompensation where she's like, I'm sorry to repeat it. It's vulgar. The other girl's vulgar. And they're both really shockingly inappropriate, I think, in the clip. It was very off-putting, but my theory is it's an overcompensation. Your thoughts?
It's fascinating. It's a bizarre society that elevates that sort of conversation, I would say. Strange. And I don't know. I mean, you might have more information on this than
I definitely
do. It definitely, I will say this, Megyn, definitely.
Let me tell you something.
Like
She's not going to be suing me for defamation.
Yeah, that's great.
But by the way, opinion is not suable for defamation anyway. Go ahead.
It's just your opinion, Megyn. You made that very clear, very, very much just your opinion. But it does seem like, it's like, I guess that's supposed to make her like edgy, right? Like it's supposed to be, hey, look at me. I'll say it. I'll just say it. I like doing that. It seems pathetic. It seems like you're trying too hard. And there is an element there of like, everybody knows that person who is trying to pretend that there's something else. Maybe it's just that she's very boring and stays home on Friday nights. I don't know, Megyn, but it definitely seems like there's something she's compensating for.
Okay, could be that. I'll entertain your theory. Maybe it's just that she's boring and not something else. But okay, she's 49 years old. She's trying to sound like she's 26 years old, and it's inappropriate. It feels weird.
Yes, this is actually what I said on the comment section of this video when I saw it on X, and I'm glad that Megyn Kelly reacted to it very fast. What Megyn Kelly is insinuating here, it is actually in line with a lot of people. Like, what on earth will you just say this? I recently, what point is she struggling to prove? That is my direction of thinking. Maybe she was struggling to clear the air in a different direction, like Megan is saying here, or what exactly. But what really triggered me is how this host or this, is it called Daddy Podcast, something like that. If you've been following, politics recently, you realize this lady interviewed Kamala Harris, and a lot of people criticize Kamala Harris going on this podcast because of the kind of thing these people promote. I was shocked that time. Now this lady is saying some kind of vulgar things on this platform. Hmm. Concerning, let's proceed to watch this video. If you love what I'm doing here, subscribe, share the video, and check if your notification is on.
It's a very strange thing to see one of our best known actresses sit down like that with a crossed legs podcaster talking about their orgasms and who they effed. It's just really off-putting and feels really it's a turnoff. Here she doubles down on how little she needs a man in her life. Hello, back to my theory. Even when it comes to child rearing, SOT 27.
I think people look at it so like in our society as this kind of something must be wrong with her, right? With women, it's always like something must be wrong with her. She can't keep a man, and it's never part of the discussion of like, wow, she's really living her truth. Like she's living in her happiness. Like this is actually a choice that she made. I like want to just like look at them and just be like, do you know how fucking great it is to live exactly how I want to live, to experience motherhood exactly how I wanted to experience it. And my God, do I love every single day of it. I love that I don't have to share them with somebody. I love that I don't have to run every fucking thing by a guy. I love that I don't have to, well, oh my God, co-parent. I love that I don't have to do any of that stuff.
Okay, I just have to say something about the swearing. I love a good F-bomb. The audience knows that. It has to be strategically deployed. When one really feels it, the audience will forgive you for it. But every sentence, an F-bomb, F-ing this, F-ing that, F-ing God, F-ing, like, what is that? This is like an affectation where she's trying to act like, again, the young, cool girl. I get it. And I don't need a man. She's got 2 children. They don't need a father? Okay. She's super proud of the fact that there's no father in the picture. Great. Good for you.
It's a psychotic view of what marriage is. Marriage and parenthood is not like, oh, I gotta run this by my wife if my son's gonna play in this little league team. Like that's not what marriage is. That's not. Again, I don't know. How do you even talk to somebody who thinks that way? It's like it's like an alien that dropped out of the.
This should actually just clarify what Megan said at the beginning of this video. Yeah, the theory she was struggling to put out. You can see it here clearly. It is openly written. Yeah, that is it. So struggling to bring out a different thing using different kind of word, it is something I knew this will end up this way. I hope you understand exactly what is going on. If you watch the beginning of this video, this same lady went off the other day going after the Trump administrations on immigration. Oh, this. I saw that video. I didn't even want to comment because I knew we will have informations coming up. Just a few days after, look at what she's pouring out now. Crazy, right? This is Hollywood.
One child in particular. I feel sad for them. I feel sad that she doesn't feel the need to bring a father figure, obviously, into their life, not a full-time one. And she's super thrilled to be not having that and sees men as a burden and not as additive. And again, back to my theory, I think there's a reason for that. But I just think she's not who I thought she was. Not at all.
and it's just on the front of, this is just a societal thing. We keep hearing that this is a very natural thing, that boys want to be girls and girls want to be boys. And actually they really are. They're put in their quote unquote wrong bodies. Yet it's so interesting how the percentage of those people seem to coalesce around people with that type of attitude as parents. Like it's not a coincidence, right? It's not a coincidence that liberal areas have much higher percentages of children who find themselves in this situation.
We have never seen pictures of her being pregnant, things like that. I don't want to go into that. I'm just quoting what I've seen people reacting to.
People line up for my advice, and you're walking away like I'm stupid. It's like,
Why don't we choose more carefully who we're going to lionize?
why marriage, infertility, trying to have kids makes things difficult. It's like
She's seriously depressed about how hard it is to live in the White House.
Post this morning alleging that since I said I will prevail.
It also shouldn't be racial.
Require Carmelo to run. He has
100.
Has been overwhelming. The lies and their amplification.
This is not going to end. Right is right and wrong is wrong. All good.
If you see any clips after this, that is just for the YouTube algorithm.
What if he says self-defense? There's no self-defense. Because kids in here and resolve this issue is called conflict resolution.
Again, the evidence is still coming in.
This is definitely a self-defense case because it always is one until you...
Because she's fearful of what might happen to her.
Followers for anything. And then the
Registration Act is
talking about
Term, and you will be very...
Once again, the field was littered with Wintour does.
And black people don't want to live around ratchet black.
how bad is his reputation going to be?
It's expensive to live in the White House. It would be somebody that I would want as my president. Little people with their own sense of